I'm going to just sit here and not cuss because someone caught me cussing right away last time. I was like, I'm going to see how long I can go without cussing. Right away, I said a cuss word. Hey, guys, welcome to UnInfluenced. As you can see, we changed some shit up.
Our goal for you guys is to have a different studio every episode.
Fuck yeah.
No, it's not it, but we do like this setup better because we're always looking shit up. This was Matt's idea, and I think he knocked it out of the park because, it's just a better setup, I think. And it utilizes this table that was handmade.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are. Fucking cheers.
I'm going to half-ass lie or tell the truth, and I stole this idea from bros.
Is that right?
Yeah. Once I was like, these guys are on laptops. They're probably looking at porn.
I mean, I am.
Yeah.
Car porn, but...
That's what I got on. We're going to get into this Alec Baldwin shit.
Yeah.
Yes. Fuck him. Oh, so there we go. There we go. That didn't last long.
It was at least 30 seconds.
Yeah. At least 30 seconds.
Probably less, but sure.
Less? Bitch, you better play the intro.
Yeah. Well, then it'll be after 30 seconds, but I'm talking of actual, podcasting time.
Oh. Nobody counts actual podcasting time.
No.
Someone asked me earlier today, matter of fact, how much money can you make podcasting? Negative whatever you spend a month, because you don't make shit doing this. You do it for fun.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're, really doing hundreds of thousands of downloads, you're not making, in my opinion, a living off of it, especially with the amount of time and equipment and effort that you got to put into it. Even if you're monetized and sponsored, I can tell you from experience, it's a revenue stream, but it's not like if that was all I was doing for a living, that would be real goddamn tough. Even, having episodes that do get, 6 or multi-6-figure downloads. So it's a tough business. I would say don't quit your day job and just do it for fun. But
what are the two key components for canine success? That's effective training and proper nutrition. Fueled by Team Dog brings those two components to your family and best friend. The perfect nutritional balance that results in a higher mental acuity, energy, overall vitality, and even an improved appearance. Every product you will find in my company's store was born from the battlefield and not from the boardroom. Let my life's work help you become your dog's hero.
Can we tell these people what you're trending on Apple?
Yeah, I don't even remember what that was.
Number 8 in, what'd I say it was?
It was either political science or philosophy.
Yeah, philosophy, I think it was. So trending at number 8 last week on iTunes. And something I'm proud of, UnInfluenced, we hit 154. So that's pretty good.
That's real good. That's awesome.
But congratulations on top 10.
Thanks. Fucking A.
Something else I want to ask. Where the fuck is your plaque for breaking 100K?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, it's been a while now. And, I remember getting an email from them right after it happened. Mm-hmm. And, saying congratulations, and was like, it mentioned it, and then that was it. And we haven't gotten it and haven't sent anything out. Fuck, I don't know what the deal is.
Those sons of bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of making money, if you guys aren't following us on Patreon, check us out. Both shows are on Patreon. The beauty of Mic Drop on Patreon, releasing anywhere from 5 to 7 days early the episodes, so you can check them out 7 days normally, unless I fuck up and don't download it in time. But you'll get to see all his episodes early. You get exclusive coupons at times. And on UnInfluenced, same thing. We get in there, we chat with you, bullshit around, and I'll start doing coupon codes and shit, so for the merch and stuff.
Yeah.
And the merch is down in the description. Everybody keeps asking where. Oh, not this one. You can get this on his side. But you can get the merch on the Bonfire app down there, so check it out. You can get all kinds of shit. Brandon's been putting in tons of work making some pretty cool merch. He made us one. It's a Pornhub logo. It says UnInfluenced. Awesome. And I couldn't find the damn thing today. My wife cleaned the house for the first time in 12 years. We've only been married for fucking a year, but whatever. But Alec Baldwin, you want to get into that fool real quick?
Yeah.
So I thought of the thumbnail. Alec Baldwin kills Brian Laundrie. I mean, we're just totally fucked shit up.
Fucking algorithm head explodes.
So my wife sent me this, and I know you're gonna know a lot more about it. But Alec Baldwin went on a rant on Twitter about a cop wrongfully shooting somebody and how they should go to jail and all that.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's been one of the biggest anti-gun mouthpieces and proponents for really strict gun legislation for years, and is. I'll I guess start by saying I don't think he deserves to have what he did happen to him. I don't think anybody does. No. You know, and I feel for him even as well, and especially the families of the two people that were shot, especially the one that lost their life. I mean, that just fucking sucks, and it's it's just such a waste. But what I do think he deserves is getting his ass handed to him on social media for being such a prick for so many years, having zero empathy for any cop that was ever in a position like that or whatever. And karma's kind of a motherfucker that way. Again, I don't wish that had happened, no matter how big of an asshole somebody is. But I do think he gets what he deserves, publicly, vocally, et cetera, with all of the memes and things. I mean, I remember there was one in particular. It was like, I wonder what it feels like, killing somebody
wrongfully.
Wrongfully killing somebody. It's, something like that. Just being a total smartass about it. And again, it's like a guy with that kind of platform or following, whatever you want to call it, that says shit like that. That again displays zero fucking empathy and also I would say zero understanding for what it's like to be a first responder. It's such a tone deaf, shitty thing to say. And so in that regard, he kind of deserves the shitstorm that he's getting now, because of what happened. But just a shitty fucking scenario.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't ever imagine. I could imagine doing it in self-defense, or if that was my job to go in and, have to use a weapon, but an accidental shooting, I mean, I don't care for what he did. Even the cops who go through this shit, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're being attacked, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't feel bad at all if I'm attacked and have to shoot somebody. But to go through what he's having to go through, those families are going through, it's pretty fucking bad.
Especially for the making of a movie, and that's the thing. One of the things that really chaps my ass, generally speaking, about Hollywood and the movie industry is a lot of these guys. Michael Shannon's one of them. Matt Damon's one of them. Guys that are really, really fucking vocal about how anti-gun they are, yet they make all these movies that glorify guns, where they're using guns to make millions of dollars to stand up on a soapbox and talk about how evil guns are. Mm-hmm. And so similarly, I would say, okay, so it's the gun's fault then? No, you fucked that up. I mean, there's a number of protocols that are put in place on movie sets to avoid that happening. There were even before The Crow back in the 90s, where Bruce Lee's son died in similar fashion. And since then, there's been a lot of mitigation protocols put in place to alleviate things like that from happening. Something as simple as, generally speaking, they make the camera angles so that when you're pointing a gun at somebody and shooting it, even in a scene, and it's a prop gun, is that you still, shift one direction or up high just enough so where the sights are basically, if there was a real there was live ammo in the gun, that it wouldn't hit the person. And so obviously on top of that, multi-person checks of ensuring that before a gun gets handed to an actor, that it's checked multiple times to make sure that it's the right one and doesn't have live ammo in it and whatever. Those are supposed to always happen. And I think, it really just highlights, just like in law enforcement or in the military or whatever, is that, you can't mitigate every single shitty accident out. You do your best and whatever, but whether it's getting complacent or it's just all the right things kind of lined up in the worst way possible for something like that to happen, like that does happen sometimes. And if you think about every movie that's ever been made and how many people have died from things like that, it's a really small percentage, just like in law enforcement. Mm-hmm. There's millions of interactions between cops and citizens day in, day out, where nothing happens, and so if you just highlight on that, then it's easy to make people think that it happens all the time when it just doesn't, and to me, like the response, to give him kind of a taste of his own medicine would be like, how many movie industry professionals have to die before we just ban guns from fucking movie sets? Where's that fucking meme at?
Yeah.
Where's that, congressional fucking level legislation being put forth and AOC wearing a fucking dress that says ban guns on movie sets to a fucking $30,000 plate dinner? Where the fuck is that at? There's nothing like that. It's crickets, because, they don't like to fucking follow the same rules or the same, blowhard mouthpiece bullshit that they espouse.
The bad part is it's a very touch and go situation on how they can make fun of the deal. I mean, I'm thinking the Wayans brothers sitting there doing a parody with fucking people chasing around people with bananas and shit so they don't hurt anybody. But I mean, in reality, someone lost their life, so it's fucking shitty. Yeah.
And for the sake of entertainment too, you could even argue it even further that way, honestly, in that it's a fucking movie. It's pretend. Like shit you're doing, pretending to do things. Like, you're a professional liar for a living, right? You impersonate somebody else. Like that's your fucking job. And because of doing that, somebody died.
Yeah.
Law enforcement is a necessity to keep order. As much as I don't like, some of the laws that are on the books and that exist, the fact is that I support the shit out of law enforcement, and they're an absolute necessity for our society to function, or it's going to go to fucking straight chaos. So the fact that their job is absolutely necessary, and it's one that's never, that need is never going to go away. Whereas movies, I mean, you saw it with COVID, right? Mm-hmm. Is that, when they broke it down into, basically necessary versus not necessary, which I think everybody's livelihood is necessary. But, movies were one of the first things to go. Entertainment and sports were like the first two things that people shit canned during the shutdowns, because that shit isn't necessary, So I don't know. I think it just, again, it's a lot of hard lessons learned, and some of it, I think he kind of gets what's coming to him in terms of the backlash. But again, I want to reiterate, I wish that it hadn't happened, because it's just such a waste of a lost life. But
yeah, and I mean, it sucks. Hopefully everything works out for the family.
Yeah.
Honestly, whatever happens to him, to me, should be just as good as what happens to all the cops that he was pointing his finger at.
I mean, and
he still has to live with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, from a law enforcement or judicial standpoint, he's not going to get charged with murder. Nothing about it obviously was premeditated or anything like that. But and each state is a little different in terms of their qualifications for what murder 1, 2, 3 and manslaughter, what constitutes each one of those. But I suspect that it's going to be something to the effect of, if the state can basically say, what you did while there was no intent, your carelessness caused the death of somebody else. It's usually 1.5 to 2 years, mandatory minimum prison sentence time for involuntary manslaughter. Like similarly, like if you're driving a fucking golf cart and you kill somebody or whatever, or even driving drunk, or, what have you, is that things like that happen, and in this case, like that wouldn't be that hard to prove. I don't think the state would have a difficult time proving that he was careless because obviously there were protocols not followed. And at the end of the day, the actor is the one with the gun in their hand. And if they're supposed to aim it, off center or if they're supposed to check it themselves or whatever, and he didn't do that, which, really if there's anything protocol wise that he was supposed to do that he didn't do, that's all that would have to be proven for him to be charged with and probably, be convicted guilty of involuntary manslaughter, which would land him in prison for a period of time. So, that's very possible.
Yeah.
Mike, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Well, for both of you.
Yeah.
So I read somewhere that I read on like a news outlet that what had happened was he there was a fake bullet in it with just like the gunpowder, it would seem like it came out, but the bullet, something went wrong with the actual casing, and the casing shot out and hit one of the assistants from like a really weird angle. Would that kind of change your opinion on it? Because he wasn't charged with anything after.
Who was this?
What, news outlet or something?
No, are you saying you heard that this is what happened?
Yeah, like Alec Baldwin, there was just the bullet casing or something with like a little bit of powder in it, and something went wrong with the casing, and the casing shot out.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what happened, absolutely that would, and that's what the investigation will find and prove or disprove. Mm-hmm. What I will say ballistically, from the little bit of time that I have spent firing guns and ballistics knowledge that I do have, is that that doesn't sound possible to me.
Okay.
The casing is not a lethal projectile; it's hollow. So even if it's shot, quote unquote, through a gun, like even if you were to use the bullet casing as the actual projectile and put another casing behind it and shoot it that way, because it's hollow and the way that it's shaped, mm-hmm. that I still don't see that killing anybody, and that isn't how they're set up. So to me, like, that sounds like a total bullshit story. Okay. I don't know. Again, I'm curious to see what the investigation leads to, but not having any of those details, I just don't know. But to kill somebody, that a projectile has to work kind of how it was intended to. I mean, I'm not saying that, mm-hmm. that it couldn't have been some weird fluke thing like that, but it's very unlikely.
Got it. Okay. Again, just curious.
So my thing is, I was wondering this. They were using revolvers because it's an old Western movie. The old revolver blank guns, and I'm pretty sure because he's a shitty actor now, it's not a high production value.
Yeah.
Well, the old revolvers had the simulated, it looked like a bullet in there, but it wasn't a bullet. They were just capped and welded. Mm-hmm. I wonder if one of those just unlodged and shot out. That's the only thing I could think of that would make a projectile enough.
Yeah. Yeah, possibly.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, to me, it seems...
There's all kinds of fucked up variables on it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems weird that would be a detail that they would put into, into even wheel guns in old Westerns. Of course it's possible, but yeah, I mean, like I said, we can speculate all fucking day long. The fact is that you just don't know, without knowing what the investigation details are. Who knows what they are, but
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a shitty deal.
The one fact that came out of this is that Alec Baldwin is a shitty actor, and that was probably a piss poor production.
Well, I mean, to me, like, credit where it's due. I think he's a great actor. I really do. I mean, I can't stand the guy, but I think he's good at what he does. And again, like, I don't wish what happened to him on anybody. But
for those of y'all that think I'm a yes man, fuck Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, there you go. He hates him.
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, I don't like him.
That dude.
I don't like him.
Wasn't he married to that? What's that hot blonde bitch's name?
Which one?
Not Brooke Shields. Was he married to Brooke Shields?
I have no idea who he's been married to, but
I'm gonna look that shit up. This is the beauty of us having motherfucking computers again.
You goddamn right.
Yeah, Zohan won't look it up. That motherfucker.
He won't find it.
No, he'll be looking up fucking dudes. Be like, what dude?
Or computers.
Yeah.
What else you got on them show notes? Are we answering questions today?
We can. I did pull up. You want to talk cars, then answer questions?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Kim Basinger?
That's that bitch.
Yeah.
They were married, right?
Yeah, they were. Oh, Zohan can't search anything up.
Yeah, Kim Basinger. She was hot back in the day.
Yeah, Batman days.
Yeah.
Was she Catwoman?
Like a screen door in a hurricane.
No, she was I think a reporter in the Batman where Michael Keaton played Batman. This was back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So it was before my time.
Wasn't she the voice of Jessica Rabbit? Or the real Jessica Rabbit when
I don't know. She
came alive?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
So the list from Car Throttle, which is took from Motortrend, top 10 supercars for 2021. I'm going to give you the list from 10 to 1, and I'm going to call bullshit on this list. At least the order and at least one of the cars. Number 10, Chevrolet Corvette.
C8?
Yeah. Number 9, Audi R8. Number 8, Porsche 911 Turbo S. Number 7, Honda NSX. Number 6, McLaren 765 LT. And here's where these next two is where shit's really going to get fucking stupid. Ferrari 812 Superfast, number 5. Number 4, beating the 765, McLaren 720S. The Lamborghini Aventador SVJ is number 3. The Ferrari F8 Tributo is number 2. The Lamborghini Huracan Evo rear-wheel drive is the best supercar of 2021.
Well, I mean, I think that just goes to show you that, interpretations of what's good or not is completely fucking subjective to the test driver.
Yeah.
I'd be curious who made that list. It's the Motor Trend Collective.
It's the Motor Trend.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't think it was, what's Post? Is it Randy Post?
Yeah, Post.
Yeah. I wouldn't think it was him because I know he don't really like the C8 that much.
Oh, really?
The Lamborghini SVJ, I'll give you my breakdown. Some of these cars, I mean, they're all great supercars. I think the Evo isn't that great of a car, but in rear-wheel drive is more playful, so I could see that. The Tributo, again, is an upgrade from the 488 GTB, not the Pista. So for those of you people that are watching or own the Tributo and telling all your friends, it's just like a Pista. No, it ain't, bitch. The SVJ, again, shitty car. The 720S, I owned it, and I don't see it being better than the 765 LT just for the simple fact the aero's better on the 765 LT and the horsepower.
Did they have any type of qualifications as to what they're considering in rating these cars? Because I mean, to me, from a driver's car standpoint, I can see some of that list being the way that it is. I mean, I disagree with a number of them, but to me, that at least explains some of it.
Yeah.
But I actually probably would put the 720 in front of the 765 if you're factoring in bang for your buck, just because they're so much cheaper. I mean, they're half the cost.
That is true.
And the 765 LT, while it's faster, it's not that much faster than a 720, and it's twice the price.
Yeah.
So, and it probably handles pretty similarly.
Yeah.
So that I could actually see, but of course we're quite biased. I'd put the Turbo S way the fuck down on the list, or up on the list, however you want to look at it.
I'd kick this motherfucking Corvette off the list.
I don't think the NSX should be on the list. I don't think the Corvette should be on the list.
No,
I agree with that.
But
I think the Performante should be on this list.
Yeah, I'd put a Performante over the Evo, but if they're going after just straight driving experience, which I have to assume that's most of what they're going for. It makes a little more sense if they're factoring in that with price and availability and all that. The list makes a little more sense, but again, without knowing what their metrics are and just trying to assume what they are, that's the only way I can see them, at least kind of justifying that list. But and I can see why the Pista wouldn't be on there if it's 2021, because there's no such thing as a 21 Pista. So
yeah, and the Performante wouldn't make it because there's no 21 Perf.
Yeah. So I guess the list
there is
makes
an
a little
STO
more sense,
though, which on that deal I was watching today from Chris Harris said the STO is the best Lamborghini he has drove since the Diablo.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow, that says quite a bit.
He said while it's hideous, it is the
Hideous
best
looking?
Yeah.
Really? I think it looks good.
He
man.
said this dog and pony show rear scoop back here that don't do shit. Yeah. Well, he said don't do bollocks or whatever, because they're not cussing. And then there was something else he pointed at. He said basically it's a dog and pony show, he said, but it's a great car.
Yeah.
Which it's a rear-wheel drive Evo. Basically it's a Performante and an Evo had sex.
To me, it almost looks, because of the front venting and just the more aggressive lines, it kind of looks like a Huracan Aventador combination.
Yeah, baby SVJ.
Yeah.
But it don't have the ALA system in it.
Yeah, and with a lot better fucking visibility. But, I can see that if you think about how how much fun the F8 or Pista is to drive, because it's rear wheel drive. It sounds, all of that. Kicking it up a notch to now an NA V10 that revs higher, that sounds better, that probably bounces around a little more because it revs higher and is probably even a little more playful in the back end.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why it may be a little more fun to drive than even an F8 or a Pista. I do think the Pista is noticeably more fun to drive than the F8, but again, it's not going to make a 2021 list anyway. So
no,
I'd really like to drive one of those STOs. It seems like they're almost impossible to get, though, huh?
Yeah.
Unless you're willing to pay $100 over sticker.
Maybe we could grease some palms and get behind the wheel of one.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
But how does the SF90 not make it on here? And considering you have those two that shouldn't be on here.
Yeah. I don't know how you put a Corvette and an NSX on that list and not have an SF90. That is baffling,
Yeah.
But
because the SF90 is a 2021. There's tons of other cars. You guys in the comments, let us know what you would do for this list. I would rearrange it. A lot of the cars are decent. I've drove Huracans. I haven't drove a two-wheel. Hold on. Maybe I have drove a rear-wheel drive Huracan.
Did it have the R8 above or below the Turbo S?
The R8 is number 9. The Turbo S is number 8.
Yeah.
The NSX beat the Turbo S.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. The 812 Superfast sitting at number 5. To me, that's hard to justify. But I'm going to clarify this. I haven't got to drive a SVJ or the 812 Superfast. People just don't want to let you drive them. But for me, I would think driving ability and knowing the research I've done on both, I would think the 812, not just being a Ferrari fan, I would think the 812 being a dual clutch rear wheel drive car, naturally aspirated V12 would be way more fun to drive than the SVJ.
Yeah.
Because the SVJ is all wheel drive, single clutch, piece of shit.
And there's no way that the 812 is not more fun to drive than a 720.
Oh, hell
There's no fucking way,
The 720 owning it, and I've said it on the show, it's very numb to drive.
Yeah.
It has no feel. It's basically like getting on your phone or a video game and having thumb controls. There's no feel, no fight back or feedback. It's a very numb car. It's fucking fast, though.
Yeah.
Super fucking fast.
Yeah.
But, it should be called a 720 super fast.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
The what was that link that you sent me, or that I sent you about the crate? Fucking
the
1,000 horsepower fucking
Corvette.
Well, I think it's a GM crate engine that you can order.
We need to order one and put it right where the motorcycle is.
Oh shit.
That can't be.
Well, I mean, what I'm curious of is it just a crate engine, or are they going to put that in something?
GM's known for building crate engines and not putting them in shit. And the reason is you got to think the most popular engine to transplant into these old cars is an LS, which is a Chevy engine. The funniest shit when I was going to the car shows is you'd see the old Fords and they'd say built Ford tough with Chevy stuff. And it's like, you're not wrong. The dude has a fucking Chevy engine in it. I'm trying to find that link again. I know. There it is. 10-liter crate engine.
Yeah, it's a NAV12, right?
Yeah, NAV12 makes 1,004 horsepower, 876 foot-pounds of torque.
So to me, that's the kicker, right? Is that every other NA engine that I see, that's where they're typically lacking is in torque. Like the R8, for example, it's like 400 and some torque, you know, so which is also a V10. This is a 10-liter instead of a 5.2-liter, so it makes sense. But to me, that's where I would love to see that engine go in something, a mid-engine, aerodynamically sound fucking European type of car, or put it in a fucking Corvette if it'll fit. I mean, that's probably one of the problems too, is that can't be a small fucking engine if it's a goddamn 10-liter. But as fun as a 5.2-liter V10 is to drive, a 10-liter V12, that's naturally aspirated with that kind of fucking power and torque, I just can't even fucking imagine, like, holy shit.
The price isn't bad.
How much is it?
$16,000.
No, it's not bad at all. I'm just wondering what the fuck it would fit in. Like,
I don't know, because it's It's called a ZZ632/1000.
Yeah.
It's a 632 cubic inch engine. That's pretty fucking huge.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's a big bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It goes on sale. You can buy it. Where the fuck is it? Early 2022 is all they put. Yeah. Land just north of 16,000 with a guesstimate of 16,304.82. That don't sound like a guesstimate. That sounds like somebody told you what the fuck it's going to cost.
That's pretty precise.
Yeah. Yeah, you say around. But
That 10 list is on Motortrend?
yes.
Why am I not finding it?
Well, it says car throttle by Motortrend. And they have no caveat, or no, not caveat. They have no what got them to this level. There is tons of reviews on every one of them, though.
Yeah.
I wonder what Motor Trend is. Let me see.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Let's find Motor Trend.
The yeah, so the number one's a Huracan fucking Evo STO, huh?
Mm-hmm. What's Chris Harris on? It's not Motor Trend. He's on
He's on fuck, what is he on? I can't remember.
Do you know what Chris Harris is on?
Top Gear, I thought.
Top Gear, yeah.
Yeah.
If that car comes out, that's going to be a badass car. The Porsche 911 turbo based Marseille, however they say it, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a bad bitch.
Is that an aftermarket thing, or is that from them?
Porsche actually released the rendering of it. I think I sent it to you in that list of Porsche hypercars they were trying to come out with.
Yeah.
The SF90 did a 2.1 on Motor Trend.
Yeah, it's fucking quick.
Yeah. What's your car doing right now?
Mine?
The Turbo S?
I mean, the fastest I've gotten on the street, I want to say, is a 2.4, I think.
God damn.
But that's with Sport Cup tires when it was hot, so it's tires grabbed and hooked pretty well.
Yeah.
But I think I know it'll go faster, but not much faster. I mean, at that point, you're working against, tires and road conditions. I mean, the power is only as good as what you can put down, so it's already, I mean, it'll spin, especially now that's a little cooler. I mean, today's pretty fucking hot, but Christ, I was turning around the other day. It was like 65 degrees or so, and I was in fucking comfort and jumped on it, and the whole fucking thing got all sideways on me, about ran into fucking oncoming traffic, which I haven't had it break loose that bad ever, and it was just because it's 20 degrees cooler.
Yeah, that motherfucker's quick.
And the tires weren't warmed up. I mean, that makes such a difference. Even all-wheel drive Sport Cup 2 is still at the amount of power that thing is putting down is fucking nuts.
Yeah, I don't know what speed I was going when you fucked up that Hellcat and he stayed in it.
Yeah.
But I went full throttle past him while he was trying to catch you, and still shot over 2 lanes after passing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you were driving that wide body red eye Hellcat, fucking good on you. It was a good time for sure. But
I know I've looked down and was doing 176, 180-ish in that car at one time. That felt way faster. I don't know how fast I was going.
I will admit I didn't look at the fucking speedometer one time on that exchange, we'll call it.
Yeah.
But some good. When are we going to reveal the new bike? We got to do that soon.
We definitely need to do that. I mean, we could talk about it, but I'd rather do a video like we've been doing about it. We need to do that this week. Yeah.
Did our boy Tyler send you the fucking 60 to 130 on that thing?
Mm-mm.
It's fucking 3.8 stock.
3.8 bone stock?
Yep.
What was his on the BMW?
3.6.
So a bone stock bike ran at 3.8 and he's running, holy shit.
Yeah, I think, it'd probably go faster to flash it and if you lowered it and strapped it and all, you know, I mean, that's what's done on his. And yeah, I mean, fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's
to me, just being able to operate a bike at that level, I think is impressive. You know, it's just, you know, granted, I haven't been riding that long, but I know there's so much more technique and skill level involved in being able to really wring out a bike at that speed, you know, at its highest RPM levels. I mean, and to me, it's like just going out and around town, not going, you know, anywhere near that. Well, I mean, going up to 130, yes, but not topping the bike out. You know, it's hard for me to imagine being able to, with all that shit going on, being able to be conscious enough to pay attention to the RPM range and not hitting the rev limiter and fucking your time up, but being able to squeeze all of the horsepower and torque when you've got all this other shit to think about. Like, to me, that I know I'm not the guy for that fucking,
yeah, you
know, for that test. I mean, one, I'm way too fucking heavy too, but still, you know, it's just, I just, you know, I'm always blown away by anybody's ability to fucking squeeze everything out of a bike like that. But
yeah, Tyler's like 98 pounds.
Yeah, soaking wet.
Soaking
fucking wet.
I think he could get a quicker time if he'd go in them swim trunks like that one dude.
Yeah.
Swim trunks.
Boots, swim trunks, and a helmet.
Yeah. That dude was fucking on his game that day.
Yeah. It does have the new mirrors on it, which add another like 9 pounds of downforce, which is pretty wild.
Can you feel it?
I mean, I actually haven't ridden it with the new mirrors on it yet. We went to, I rode the Aprilia to get it ceramic coated, and then he took it back. Or he took it there and took it back. So yeah, I haven't ridden it. He said it does, but, you know, which is pretty neat. But
yeah, now are you gonna buy a set for the Aprilia?
I don't think so, because they're, from a effectiveness standpoint, they're not great. And for me, I like having good mirrors. You know, the Aprilia's mirrors are way better than any other bike. Like, you know,
I agree.
Just a simple having the mirror floating in the thing and not being all one solid piece like a normal car door side view mirror.
Yeah,
makes all the difference in the world. I don't understand why. I mean, from a safety standpoint, why every motorcycle doesn't come with good mirrors that aren't rendered fucking useless, you know, above 2,500 RPMs like most of them are.
Yeah.
The stock ones on there aren't the worst. I mean, they're not terrible, but they're not great either, you know. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, there's not. So I guess the short answer is I don't know. I mean, on the Aprilia, no, I'm not gonna fucking put those same mirrors on them. But
the new bike, when they find someone's guessed it, and I was sitting here trying to think.
Oh, really?
We posted something, and you could see the speedometer.
Oh yeah.
And someone got it,
yeah,
like,
I mean,
dead on.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell what brand it is just from that, because that's the only brand that has a speedometer like that. But they guess the whole fucking thing,
like dead on.
Well, maybe the configuration is specific to that model too. That I don't know the brand well enough to know if there's little nuances that way. But
yeah, I can't. I'm trying to remember why the fuck we showed it. Did we just show it to show it, like how fast it was going?
Yeah, because he was going
it was when he hit
of
the 206 or
yeah,
whatever,
it was
right?
upwards of 200 miles that he was going down the highway.
He sent us that video.
Yeah, so he sent it to you, then you showed it to me, and then I got him to send me the Google Drive link.
Yeah, off of that, someone
guessed it.
hit that bitch nail on the head, and I was like, oh shit.
yeah,
Yeah, good motherfucking call, asshole. What the fuck? I was gonna look something up. I'm gonna look up Patreon questions real quick, because you fools keep asking. Oh, okay. This dude says, okay, so I got a question. If you guys had the opportunity to drive and or buy a Pagani Zonda, why or why not would you?
I'm going to have to look up a Zonda, because I don't even know what the fuck.
I'm going to tell you. Hold on. Does it say buy or drive?
Yeah.
Drive and or buy. So drive, I'll fucking drive anything.
Yeah, I'll drive the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, you fucking put any car in front. I don't give a fuck if it's a fucking Pinto. I'll drive the fuck out of it. If you want to know how to tear your fucking car up, give me the key.
So yeah, for me, absolutely, I would drive it. I would absolutely not buy it.
Yeah.
That's just me.
some of those cars, that the Koenigsegg's, they have a lot of maintenance issues.
Yeah.
The Bugatti in the supercar world or the hypercar world is supposed to be really reliable, but it's a Volkswagen.
Yeah, it's a Volkswagen. I mean, so to me, and as cliche or corny or fucking predictable or, you know, vanilla lame, whatever you want to call it, is for me, if I had the money, even if I had the money, I just can't see myself spending $3 million plus on a car. But let's say, you know, I had to pick one of those. To me, I would pick the Bugatti Chiron Sport.
The Sport.
I would. The craftsmanship in it, the reliability, the performance, the look of it too is that I like the way it looks better than, to me, the Koenigsegg's, Pagani's, even the LaFerrari, they all look real similar to me. You know, they kind of look like an F1 car mashed up with a fucking 720S with weird fucking antenna-like side mirrors sticking out. And I just don't think that they're great looking cars. I appreciate the shit out of the engineering that goes into them because they're brilliant, masterful works of art. I'm just not crazy about them. That and the fact that both of those companies don't make very many cars and they don't have the kind of the resources and the infrastructure behind their company the way Bugatti does via Volkswagen. So, yeah, I mean, to me, I just would pick a Bugatti over it.
Hold on,
Mike.
May have you something to change your mind. Car and Driver can class that as a hypercar.
Really? Yeah, I mean,
but go straight off of looks.
Yeah, same thing. Like, I just don't think, like, the Bugatti is still a much better looking car than an SF90.
Yeah.
The one kicker for me the two kickers for me on the SF90, and we talked about this on Saturday when there was one at the show, is it's a good looking car. It's not a great looking car, you know. No. And to me, for that kind of money, it needs to be a great looking car, you know. And to me, the Pista is that. It's one, like, when you look at it, even still, I mean, I can look at it whenever I want. Every time I look at it, I'm like, God damn, that's a fucking good looking car. Every time I park it, I mean, it's a sexy fucking car. It just is, you know, and it's noticeably sexier than the F8 even.
Yeah.
But the SF90, there's like the angles just look kind of softened and not aggressive and kind of boring, you know, and there's no real good angle other than like from behind standing up. So you're just a little bit above, you know, that angle. It's a pretty aggressive looking car, but that's it. Like, I really don't like the front end. The side view is okay. You know, quarter angles from the front are terrible on it, I think. I do think if you put it in Grigio Silverstone and put Pista white racing stripes down it, I think that's going to give you, and black carbon rims, that's going to give your best foot forward in terms of making it as good a looking car as you can. But so that's the first part that's kind of a deal breaker for me. Without seeing one spec'd out that way, it's hard to know, you know, if it would be worth it or not. But the big thing from a performance standpoint, again, like we've talked about, is just the qualify mode, which is the full beans fucking mode on that thing. Is that going to give you that level of power for how long before you have to switch it down and let the engine regenerate the electric motors, you know? And without knowing that, the way I understand it, it's less than 10 minutes, you know. I mean,
it's like 8, right?
Yeah, I mean, they said it'll do the Nürburgring Plus, which, I mean, that should be doing mid-6s probably as fast and as good as that car is. I don't know why they haven't done it yet, but just for the sake of fucking doing it, I think they'd probably beat everybody. But
the Devo looks better. The Bugatti Devo.
Yeah, that's damn good looking. It's 5.7 million.
Yeah, 5.7 million. There's only 40, so you're going to have a better shot at getting one of the Chiron Sports, which are very.
Once that comes out, get a Chiron Sport. You probably get it for, you know, $10 off, $20 off.
Yeah, 10, 15 off. Yeah, so before we get crazy into questions, you got any more car stuff? Because we're going to shift into dog stuff.
No, I think Rohan, Zohan, you got anything?
I just have one question. What do you guys think about I know that kind of like the LaFerrari is kind of the hybrid. To an extent, it's a hybrid type deal. What do you guys think about the McLaren P1?
I mean, to me, it's kind of in the same. For me, it's kind of in the same ballpark. For me, both of them are similarly to the Koenigsegg's and Pagani's, is that I am in awe of how masterful they are from an engineering standpoint. At this point, for me, though, especially with what they cost, I just wouldn't buy one. The LaFerrari, especially, as much as I love Ferraris and I love that car, like kind of almost from a collector standpoint, which I'm not, like it's such an icon of the brand. You know, that alone almost makes it worth having. But for me, at least where I'm at right now, if I'm going to have a car, I'm going to drive the fucking shit out of it. And that's not a car that I would really want to drive with how limited it is and how special of a car it is. But also, I would say for how old it is, it's really well done as far as not feeling old, but it still feels old. You know, it's a 2014, 13. You know, so to me, when you're talking, 7, 8 years old now, like in the car world, that's fucking ancient.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, I'm such a tech dork that way that I would just have a hard time dealing with that. I mean, even the Pista is pretty fucking elementary as far as a 2020 car goes.
Yeah.
But it still has nav, it still has Bluetooth. The stereo's not great, but like to me, those are two things. Air pressure, navigation, and fucking Bluetooth to hook music up to me are things that just fucking they need to be there in a car when you're spending that kind of money on it. So that's just me. But
You want me to blow your mind though? One that I know you would consider probably.
blow the top right off.
Porsche 918 Spider.
See, I'm
that's
going to blow your
gorgeous.
mind back because I still, again, I'd put it in that same category. Is that it
Really?
kind of looks like a Carrera GT to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in a good way. I don't particularly like the weird bubblish look of the back end that way. But again, similarly, I think even more so an impressive car because it was the first hybrid that way where it was not a hybrid for economical reasons. It was a hybrid for performance reasons. And when it first came out, it was untouchable,
It was a hybrid, yeah. Just built to kick the shit out of stuff.
Yeah, but
When it originally came out, it was $945,000. You ain't touching one for less than $1.5 million to $2 million right
Yeah.
now.
if you can even find one that you could buy,
Yeah.
But
I found a few on DuPont Register. I'm trying to find its speed.
I would go on record saying that the Senna in that Tactical had one. It was that Stormtrooper black and white. That's one of the best looking cars
And get
ever.
the fuck out of here. The Senna is garbage.
yeah, I mean, I
from a
have
look
I've not
standpoint.
I've not driven in one, but I have sat in one, and I don't like them. But
Yeah. Now, if they would have put different seats in that car, I think that's where McLaren, they get too aggressive.
yeah,
They don't have a middle road when they get in those. It's all or nothing. And for people like us who are actually going to drive it, not just sit it in our garage, I want that sport bucket seat to where I can get the fuck in and out of it and not have to fucking worry about it.
Yeah, I can comfortably say, Zohan, is that again, without driving it, but just getting in and out of that thing, it was by far, and I'm saying by far, and I've gotten in and out of some pretty shitty cars to get in and out of. It was by far the worst fucking car I've ever gotten in and out of to get in and out of. It was absolutely fucking atrocious.
I mean, obviously, I've never even. The coolest car I've sat in is the new Matt's Turbo S.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
you ain't setting much
Yeah.
cool shit then. I mean, that's a cool ass car, but
Yeah.
for the, I don't know, you get to sit in some of the shit we've sat in, it's fucking like to go, and it sounds stupid. A regular 488 feels special, and then you go get in a Pista. Just sitting in Mike's Pista, there's not a ton different, but there's enough different that where you walk over to your 488 and you want to punch it right in the mouth. Like that car makes your specialness feel like you're just stupid.
Yeah.
And it's a great car. So let's play a little trivia before we get into questions from fucking Brandon and all you other crackheads on Patreon. We're going to play it Brewster's Billion style, but with $1 million. You get $1 million. You have to spend every penny of it. You can buy as much stuff as you want with that million. It has to be cars.
All right.
Has to be
Rohan,
cars.
it's you
Okay.
too.
Okay.
$1 million. What are you buying? And say you can even say you have what you have now.
All right. So with that, you're saying it can be the two cars or that I already own, or you're taking those out,
No, you can have those cars.
but it
So
costs.
So if you want to keep those cars, you can pay them off or get other stuff.
Yeah.
But you still have to spend the whole $1 million.
Right. So if I'm spending the $1 million, whatever my cars cost, they have to be paid off, and that goes out. Okay. So for 100% sure, I'm keeping the two that I have. That's why I have them. What I would add, and I'm not going to try to squeeze like as many cars in the remainder as possible. For me, I would probably add a fucking Performante.
Yeah.
Which is going to put me right at that mark, and I would try to, at a minimum, supercharge it, if not UGR fucking twin turbo it, but not the crazy 1200 horse. I'd probably do 800. I think, that gives that just a little, it's kind of the next level up from a supercharged one, which is quick, but to me, an 800 wheel horsepower fucking Performante would be a tough car to fucking beat performance wise. I mean, that's going to be probably low mid fives, probably mid fives, so a little bit faster than what we're driving now. I don't want it that much faster, honestly. And I think that you'd still get, because with that build, it's still, it's the same. It's the fucking factory ECU. It's the factory clutches, all that shit. So the drivability is going to remain, I think, pretty similar. So that's probably what I would do.
What I like about it, if you go with that perf and the UGR, you keep that V10 lower torque while the turbos pick up on the top end and make up for the high end, where that's, to me, where the Lamborghinis lose it, is that top end.
Big time.
Which is, people don't understand that. They think, oh, Lamborghini, it's the fastest. No, on the highway, those things are slow from 60 to 130.
Yeah, up to 100 miles an hour, Lamborghinis are great cars. Past that, fucking everything's stomping the shit out of them unless they're turboed.
I always discount that because I didn't own the car, but the Performante was still the best, one of the best. I would put that in your Perf, or that in your Pista, as some of the best cars I've driven, followed by the 992.
Yeah.
Mine would be, I'd pay off the 992 since I got such a great fucking deal on that. I'd buy a Pista, then I'd get an 812, super fast. I mean, fuck, I could borrow your Perf. I could drop off the 812 at your house.
Yeah, we'll swap Perf for 812 for the weekend.
And I'd have to spend that leftover money on the Novatec setup on the 812.
Yeah.
So we are counting like shit that we would do to the car? In that,
I mean, you don't
million?
have to, but I mean, I'm going to have some extra money left over, and I really can't buy nothing else other than a Honda Civic with my chain.
I mean, to me, that I think you have to, because that's part of it, I mean, like the Performante, for me, that would be the tough part. I mean, with what I have left on the two cars, I mean, if I had them at full price, then I wouldn't be able to do a UGR Performante. And if I was going to have a Perf, I wouldn't want it stock. Like,
No.
Yeah.
It would have to be at least supercharged, but like I said, I'd want to do the stage 1 twin turbo build on it.
So before I answer, I have another question about the question.
Okay.
So could I, so if I haven't, so you know how with like Porsche, you have to buy something to then buy like
No,
a GT3?
That's not true.
Oh.
Yeah, and that shit's a bunch of myths. Now, if you're going after a crazy car, like, say, the new GT3 RS, sometimes their dealers can be assholes and be like, yeah, it's right here. What have you bought, though?
Well, yeah, I mean, so even with that, I can tell you from experience, having owned a couple of them and having dealt with dealerships, speccing one out from scratch, the Cayenne, et cetera, is that to any of their cars that are more limited run, is that it's not that you have to have bought something. It's that with most dealerships, if they have a customer there that spent $4 million at their dealership over the last 12 years, that motherfucker is going to get the first allocation that they have for whatever fucking car is coming in. So let's say they only get 3 GT3s. Now you walk in there having never bought one and be like, hey, I want a GT3. They're like, well, there's 9 people ahead of you that have spent fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars with us over the fucking last however long. That's all it is. It's not a requirement. It's just, it's basically the more money you spend, the higher up on the list you're going to go when there's rare allocations. And that's it. And same thing with Ferrari, with the exception of like the XKX, whatever the fuck.
Oh, yeah, the F. XK.
Yeah, they may have some shit like that, but even with that, it's not,
I guarantee
kind of
you
the
got
old
the
wife.
money. They're going to sell you whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
So just pretend that all these bullshit rumors you heard aren't a real thing.
Okay.
I think the only one that Porsche was really, really strict on was the GT2 RS.
Yeah, I mean that.
But again, if someone walked in with the money, they're going to sell that bitch to them.
Well, I think it's just, again, it's if they've got customers that are loyal customers, they're going to get the first crack at it. Now, if they say, yeah, thanks, but no thanks, then yeah, you may be able to walk right in and buy one spec'd out how you want it from a dealership. It's just not likely.
Yeah. Okay, Zohan, what's your $1 million buying you?
Okay, so for around $100,000 right now, I would get a Ford Mustang GT500. The Shelby. I would get I would probably get a Pista too.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of I think it's the McLaren 620R.
Really?
Yeah, they look stunning. I love McLarens.
I got to look this up. 620R.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 570 with different heads and intake and shit on it.
You had me at head.
Yeah.
You think that's fucking stunning, huh?
Okay, so
I do. I'm just a huge. I'm a big McLaren.
what are
fan.
you doing with your next $100,000?
My next $100,000. So what? The Pista's $500,000. That's another three.
The Pista's $500,000. The 620R right now is
it's
selling
like
for about
300,000.
300. Your
Four,
Shelby's
yeah.
are about 120.
Yeah, so I have another 100,000 left.
Yeah, so you got 100.
You get a Civic Type R, wouldn't you? Put a,
No,
put a fucking 12-foot wing on it
No, I would get a.
and a huge exhaust.
I would get a. Shit.
Yeah, so you didn't think.
No, I'd probably just. I would spend $50,000 on a. Huh?
You can't just assume what you're going to spend $50,000. You're fixing to say
Well,
upgrades.
Well, no. I would spend $50,000 on upgrades. What I would upgrade the Mustang, and then I would buy like a bone stock Camaro and fuck with that.
Like an older one?
Yeah, like a C. No, I would buy a C3 Vet and completely restore it.
Huh, that's interesting. I
Yeah.
mean, I like your style. That's cool.
I can see why you're a virgin.
Motherfucker.
I'm not. Wait. Oh, cat's out of the bag. Zohan busted his cherry.
No, you'd have some fun with those cars.
Yeah.
I mean,
Considering that you three have, you both would have in this mythical world a Pista.
It's not mythical.
Well, you have a Pista, but
yeah, I
Matt
was going to
doesn't.
say,
It's not mythical Matt getting one either.
No, you're right. Well, he doesn't have one at the moment. Right now, he doesn't have one. But he very well could. Tomorrow, this is what he's gonna do. He's gonna sell that Turbo S and buy a Pista just out of spite now.
I don't know. I really love this Turbo S.
Yeah, I agree.
Plus, I have parts on order for it, and I'll at least wait for this to get here.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. To pick between the two of them, I would have a real hard time picking between them. And honestly, like, no bullshit, if I had to pick, I actually would keep the Turbo S and sell the Pista for the simple fact that it's just more practical.
Yeah.
My next car is going to be more than likely a 812.
Yeah.
Unless something new comes out that they're not telling us, which isn't a surprise from Ferrari. They're quick to say, "Oh, we're never doing that shit again." But next year, we're going to go ahead and do that.
Yep.
Or instead of the Pista, an STO or something. But
An STO?
or like an Aventador. I don't know.
I'm not judging you.
Yes, you are.
A little bit.
Well, there's nothing wrong with even if both of us had a Pista with you getting one also. I mean, it's that good of a car for sure.
I mean, I haven't even sat in your Pista, but just how it looks, it is a stunning. And I'm not the biggest Ferrari fan. I don't know much about it. I've liked ever since
this weekend.
I think that car is just a great car to even look at, just to put in your garage, and even if you didn't drive it, just to look at.
See, my problem is the Pista I would want. I think we've only ran across it twice.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times maybe. And it's because Mike has the other color that I love, and we buy so much shit that's the same. I always at least try to get a different color. Because if we'd have had fucking everything fucking matching.
Yeah. One thing I would change about just in general about the Pista, I feel like every Pista I've seen at least has that like middle racing stripe, and it's always that dual tone where it's like one color, then another, and then that first color again. I'm not a big fan of that, so I would get it wrapped or something.
Well, you can get them solid. They're very rare, but I've seen a solid gray, solid white, a solid black one.
Mm-hmm.
I would get a white, so I would get black wheels, white body with a black racing stripe down the middle. That doesn't like cut out at the vent. It goes past it too. Like it covers not covers, but it'll be around the Ferrari logo coming all the way down.
Yeah, no, that's a good spec for sure. I mean, we were talking about the SF90. I think would look good that way too. Is matte white with fucking black racing stripes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Would look really, really good. But
and then the reason why the Ford, the GT500, I have my when I was like 4 or 5, my parents, those little like electronic cars, you put like the battery in it and you can drive it. It had like the snail and the turtle and reverse on it.
Oh, your parents used to work at that factory that made those?
No, motherfucker.
Oh.
They got me one of those.
Oh.
And it was like a 2003 Ford, in that Ford blue with the white racing stripes, 2 white racing stripes down the middle. And that's the exact colors I would want to get. The Ford blue, that like iconic Ford blue with 2 white racing stripes down the middle.
I like it.
Yeah, I'd have nothing against the GT500s. I think they're really cool cars. The only thing that pisses me off about the GT500 is the same thing with the Raptor. It's damn near everything right now. But even before all the chip shortage,
Yeah.
they're overpriced.
Yeah.
And the loan value on them, unless you're ready to dump 20 to 30 grand down, the loan value won't hold what dealers are asking for them.
Yeah.
And to me, that's annoying. If you want to go in and take over that market, which they could have done easily with that car, make it very affordable for everybody to get one that wants one. And then instead of seeing the Hellcats running around and all these ZL1 Camaros, you start to see a shit ton of fucking Shelby GT500s that are beating the shit out of those cars.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
My next car, and I'm for real, it's probably going to be that GT500. As soon as I'm like a bit older, maybe, 26 or something. That'll be probably my next car is a GT500.
Yeah.
Or the Porsche 718, the Boxster or whatever.
The Cayman?
I love
Yeah.
the Cayman. The Cayman's a great
Or
car.
that, but I'm considering I'm
on that
younger,
earlier.
but
That's fucking
$98,000.
This one's 92, which this is probably the spec I would get. Is the fucking black with white.
Oh yeah, that bitch is bad.
Look at the interior on this motherfucker.
That's what this one looked like.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know it, but we're over here looking at GT500s.
I would buy a GT500 maybe.
We look at them every time where it filled up. We walk over there, yeah, it's the same interior.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's a fucking great car. I mean, so are, the Hellcat fucking Chargers.
The ZL1
Yeah.
Camaro.
So are the ZL1
Camaros. I was a big Camaro fan, but there's just something that's so iconic about the Mustang that I can't get over.
with the white stripe.
No, I agree. The problem I have with Camaro is the same problem I have with the Aventador. Now, I know most people would be thinking, like, how the fuck do you compare those two cars? They both suck for visibility. They both suck for visibility.
100%.
The visibility in Camaros are fucking terrible. And for me, I like to be able to see as much as possible when I'm driving.
Yeah.
That's one of the great things about both the 911 Turbo S and the Piste is they have great seating positions and really, really good visibility, which, I mean, let's be honest, like if you're driving it how you want to drive it, that shit's fucking crucial. You got to have good visibility, and the GT500 is pretty good also.
And I want to give mad props out to the dude, Michael, who bought my old AMG. I just showed you a picture. He's had it 2 weeks now, I would say. Yeah, right, 2-3 weeks.
Just about 3 weeks.
Bitch was at a track day this weekend with it,
Yeah, that's
beating
awesome.
the shit out of that car.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mike, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you driven a GT500?
Have I?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
The
mind then.
I will say what's tempting though is the new 2022 Raptor R is going to have that exact same engine in it.
Really?
Yep.
I'm a big fan of trucks. My friends hate that I'm a big fan of like trucks. One thing that I found quite interesting is how Toyota designed their new Tundra. I at first was not the biggest fan of it, but it's grown on me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was looking at it earlier because it might have been that or the Raptor might have been one of like the cars that I would have swapped for like the C, like rebuilding a C3.
Yeah.
But the 1794 limited edition or whatever that they have, the Tundra has.
1794.
Yeah, 1794. That like whatever edition. It's stunning. Or like the TRD.
You got horrible taste. But that's what I love about cars.
Yeah.
I don't have to like what you want.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be about democracy and every fucking thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't have to like your shit.
Yeah. The one thing that does worry me about the GT 500 engine going in the Raptor R is that in the 500 it doesn't get great mileage. In a fucking truck, I can't even imagine how fucking atrocious that's
TRX.
Yeah, it's got to be like 7 miles to the gallon.
The TRX, the thing that every time I've looked at the TRX, now they're having tons of problems with the transfer case and all that shit and the torque tubes and front drive shafts. But 8 miles to the gallon, when me and my wife test drove the one I ordered, I was like, no. And I was babying that bitch, and it was showing 6.5. It's like, holy fuck. And keep in mind, I'm not one of those people who's like, man, I got to worry about these greenhouse gases and all that shit. But fuck, I got to worry about my wallet.
Especially now with fucking gas prices being what they are.
Dude, it was fucking $70 to fill up the X5 yesterday.
Yeah, it's getting out of control. You see what the fucking
I'm gonna
gas
start stealing
prices?
that shit again.
See the gas prices in Texas?
It's
Going
fucking
up to
absurd.
fucking $8 a gallon.
In Texas?
What?
Or, I'm sorry, in California.
Oh, I was
I
fixing
was like,
to
holy
say,
shit.
bitch, I will
It's like
move.
$3 right now. 303, 304 for
Well,
just
I mean,
regular.
that's the bitch about having every car that I own requires premium.
Oh, my dad's Lexus that requires premium gas, and
Yeah,
he was like, "Can I take your car?" I was like, "Fuck."
How
no, dude."
much is it to fill up the truck?
My truck?
That's the biggest gas tank you have right now, ain't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those guys that like I don't ever let almost any tank get below half. So I haven't gone to where it's on fumes, but it would be over $100.
Yeah.
Shit.
The Porsche only gets that low for one when I tune it.
Yeah.
And then two, the way we drive, that shit is a tank of gas no matter where the fuck we drive. There and home is a tank of gas.
So to go to one of the meets and back is a tank of gas?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I'll be at 120 miles on a fucking tank of gas and it's gone.
Yeah. I will say that the Pista is interesting that way. If you're driving it, even if you're driving triple digits and you're driving it fast but not hard, dude, I'll use maybe a third of a tank to go there and back. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't use that much gas. Now, when you fucking stomp on it, it fucking guzzles it, you know.
Yeah.
Are you guys talking about coffee from here?
Who's this
What?
man? What just happened?
What?
We're
no,
talking
sure.
about gas in our cars
Yeah.
from here to wherever the fuck we're going.
Oh, I was just trying to get relative distance. That's all. Just
It
so I
don't
can
matter.
understand how
If we're
far it
going
is.
from here to cars and coffee, if we're going from here to fueled up, it takes my shit a tank of gas.
Yeah.
to get
that's
back.
a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's so
That's
much of it's how
like
you're
40
driving.
miles.
I mean, so much of it's how you're driving. I mean, not
Yeah.
like I can use a full tank of gas there and back in the Pista if I'm driving it like I fucking stole it all the way there and all the way back. It'll absolutely
Yeah.
use a tank.
To be fair, the bikes do too.
Yeah.
But I drive everything like an idiot.
Yeah. I mean, just something as simple as slowly getting up to, or I would say casually getting up to 130 miles an hour versus stomping on it makes a huge difference. Mm-hmm. You know, if you stomp it where it kicks down and downshifts 3 fucking gears and red lines it and you're doing that nonstop, braking and doing that and brake, you know, then yeah, it uses a fuck ton of gas. But, you know, if you casually get up there, it'll actually conserve gas fairly well. Both of them will. The Pista is better about mileage that way. But in the Turbo S, you can get low 20, 21, 22 miles a gallon if you drive it really sensibly.
Yeah, which I won't ever.
Yeah, which you don't have that to drive it sensibly. But
No, I have it to drive that bitch like a fucking records behind me trying to get that bitch back to the bank.
that's right.
You were going to mention wheels. Do you want to talk about that on the show?
Yeah, so I was looking at, I'm still waiting on wheels that I ordered 3 months ago. And this, you know, HRE wheels are kind of the fucking gold standard. I mean, they're probably the most expensive fucking wheels out there. But I was looking at some of their three-piece wheels for the Turbo S. God damn, they look fucking incredible. You know, I mean, they're amazing wheels. But just like everything else, the price of everything has gone up. And I got quoted today two different quotes. One for just all black, similar to the ones that I got, but HRE 3-piece, obviously much nicer wheels. And then gunmetal ones, which is just that little bit lighter, almost silvery black.
Mm-hmm.
How much? I know you said this is how much they would cost, but again, just like the cost of everything has gone, it was $18,000.
What if I told you I could get them for you cheaper?
I'd believe you, but still, holy shit!
Yeah.
For a set of fucking rims, $18,000.
So let me look real quick. I have a quote for 3-piece HREs
From there or what?
from a distributor.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, I gotta find it. I may have deleted it because I was like, man, fuck this dude. Okay. HRE and that one I had on my computer the other day. Center locks. 12,000.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. That's quite a fucking discount. So I guess you know what their markup is, but
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I can get it cheaper than that.
yeah. But either way, the rims that I got are basically the entire set costs what one rim costs.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I was willing to give you $600 for those wheels. You notice how those came down?
That's a steal.
I offered him double that this weekend.
Yeah,
I slept on it and I was like, fuck it.
I'll give you half.
Yeah.
Yeah, rims make a huge difference, but to me that's just man, that's a crazy. It's nothing to do with performance. Aftermarket rims, for the most part, look the same, except when it's parked there and somebody's really looking at it. So
I'll tell you the runner-up wheels that a lot of people respect is ADV ones. And
I'm not familiar with those.
Yeah, if you look up ADV ones, I got a friend
Oh no shit!
that works over there.
Of course you do.
ADV one's really good, and then Roadie Form, they're another good one, high-end brand.
Yeah,
I got another guy that works over there.
I know a guy.
And if you go to Rift, I know a guy. So they'll make you the carbon wheels.
Yeah,
if you wanted. I love those wheels. The carbon wheels I had on the Ferrari.
yeah, those looked really nice.
Yeah, you can do those bitches in a matte carbon.
Yeah, that'd be fucking badass.
That'd be badass.
Did you have questions? How much time we got?
Hold on, let me look.
How much time do we have left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We probably max another 20 minutes.
Yeah, we can do two. We'll do 2 questions. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
This one I want the answer from, not because Brandon asked it. I see this all the time on Instagram, and I know if I'm seeing it, I know you do because our fucking Instagram feeds look pretty close. This question is for Mike. Do you feel it is fine or inhumane for a dog to have wheels for hind legs? Now, I answered this question to him because he texted it to me too, but
This is from Brandon?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's 100% it's okay. I don't think it's inhumane.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I told him I think it's circumstance because if you can tell the dog's miserable, then
Yeah. I mean, to that point, even with them on, if it seems like they're still miserable, but I to date, I've seen a lot of dogs with back end carriers that way, and I've not seen a single one that once they were in them seemed miserable. I'm sure it's possible. I haven't seen it, and I've seen a lot of dogs that their livelihoods, just like with, somebody say going in a wheelchair, it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. Is that, the freedom that they get to be able to continue to move around on their own is well worth the somewhat of a pain in the ass. Now, dogs obviously don't have the ability to rationalize that, but the neat thing about dogs is that they're also very present and in the moment, and they don't really give a fuck. Once they get used to it, then they understand, like, hey, I can now run way the fuck over here, and I couldn't before, so yeah, I'm totally, what the fuck are you laughing at?
yeah.
No, just the way you said that. I just found that fucking hysterical.
What's
I
that?
can run all the way over here now when I
Yeah,
couldn't.
I mean, have you ever seen a dog drag its back end? They're fucking miserable. They can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Every one of them I've seen that are in those little slings or the wheels
Are the
all-
happiest
they're
fucking
the
dogs
Yeah.
on
yeah,
earth.
super fucking happy. Some of them running over the other dogs like fucking 4x4.
Like a Roman
bitches.
chariot, fucking people up. Put some spikes on the wheels, fucking people up. Fucking other dogs up, hamstringing them.
For Halloween, dressed up like a Roman chariot.
Yeah,
That'd be fucking sick.
just like it.
Yep.
I think I've asked this before. I may not have. Dollface, Danny. We're gonna go on and ask one of her.
It's like a fucking viewer warning.
I can't remember if I've asked this or not because it's been a while back since we've done viewer questions. So she's got another question. Is there anything weird you do all the time that no one else sees? And she tells me I'll go first. Every time I button my pants after I've gone to the bathroom, I always flip my shirt up over my boobs, button my pants, and pull it back down. Don't know why.
She doesn't know why?
No.
She said, I don't know why.
She don't know why.
Yeah. I don't know why either, Danny. That's for sure something that's odd.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it, but it is odd.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Is there something like that I do? Does it have to be quirky like that? I can't think anything.
No, I mean, I can't.
What was the question again? I'm fucking sidetracked by her flashing herself in a fucking stall. What was the original?
Something weird you do that nobody else sees. And I had this same thing wrote down in show notes a long time ago, but we've just never got to it. And I don't think I could ever.
God, I don't know. I can't think anything. I mean,
I think Rohan told me once he has a blow up camel and he gets on that and rides it around.
While he puts a cargo strap behind his neck and ratchets it down so he can suck himself off while riding it.
Yes. All of that.
You'll never look at tie downs the same.
No. This is why
How the
wonder how
fuck did you come up with that?
What?
How the fuck did you come up with that?
Wouldn't you like to know? See, that would fit that, but people watch me do that, so that doesn't count.
I can't think of anything. I'm one of them people who most everything I'll do in private, I'll do in public. Because
like even taking a shit.
Yeah.
Like I've done that in the middle of the street in Iraq before. So between two vehicles in broad daylight with fucking civilians walking by watching. But
yeah, high-fiving you and shit.
Yeah. But
Rohan, you
I
got
can't think
anything
of
weird no one sees you do besides masturbate?
He won't even tell you if he's a virgin or not.
That's how you know he is. I'm not a virgin. I stuck my thumb up my own ass.
Oh God, no, never. No.
I mean, I can't say I watch porn and nobody knows about it because I talk about that all the time.
I mean, that's not weird either.
That's just every other sentence you say, Matt, is about some porn.
Do you watch porn, Rohan?
I mean, I'm an 18-year-old boy.
I didn't ask how old you were.
The fact that you said
I'm a boy.
an 18-year-old boy.
That should answer your question right there.
Yeah. I didn't ask how old you were. That's the thing.
Well,
fucking mom comes in. Your socks walk down the stairs again on their own.
Oh, shit.
I saw a fucking tweet from some dirty fuck that said, I'm so horny, I microwaved my boyfriend's happy sock and wrung it out in my mouth. Now that's a good girl.
Disgusting.
That's a damn good woman.
What?
It's fucking mind blown over. I've never even heard of some shit like that.
My question is, do you remember the post and can you send me the person?
I'll have to find it. I should have fucking screenshotted
Matt,
it.
isn't that your girlfriend though?
No, right now my list is getting pretty long.
To add her to the list.
Yeah, I sent one yesterday
that's
to
my
Mike
fault.
that I told him I need to hurry up and get famous so I can divorce this bitch too. Yeah, man, I can't think of anything I do privately that I won't do publicly or in front of people.
Yeah. I can't think of anything, but I'll if I do, I'll mention it, on subsequent episodes. How about that?
Yeah, man, because we're both fucking weird about our beards, and we'll either fucking pull out hairs in the middle of fucking walking around or fucking trimmers. Ah, man, I can't think of shit. Rowan, anything?
I'm still trying to think.
Man,
You're still hung up on the microwave happy sock. You can maybe do one more question.
Yeah, let me find one more question.
GT 500 is a good looking car.
Dude, it's one of the
stunning.
best looking.
It's stunning.
It sounds ridiculous. The fuck?
What the hell was that?
Fucking mice.
Yeah, and it sounds amazing too.
So we get a lot of questions about dog food. I do need to start sending you those. So maybe you could answer it because I'll be talking about, yeah, he has dog food. Let me see here. Hey, where do you get your insurance for your performance cars? USA, bitches. That was easy.
Same. Motorcycles, I go through Geico because USA sponsors, what is it, Nationwide, I think? Or they have like a deal with them, but I ended up going with Geico because they're a little bit cheaper. But for motorcycles, they're paid off, so I do the bare minimum fucking just to check that box of the legal requirement of having it. So
Yeah.
I went with them. But yeah, on the cars, I go through USA, which it's got to be military or military family member. So
Oh, this is Eric. We've met Eric before. Eric comes to meets. Let me go through some Brandon questions. He has more questions than anyone. Any cool ghost stories or UFO sightings?
man, I don't really believe in either one of them. I take the approach of, I think if either one of them like legitimately existed at this point, with almost everybody walking around with a 4K plus fucking video camera in their pocket, that there'd be some legit HD footage of one of the two of them, and not some grainy 3,000 feet away at night bullshit that looks like it's, from the 1970s fucking Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. So no, I haven't run into anything that I thought was an alien. Yes, I've seen some of the fighter pilot fucking footage, but again, it's weird, almost reflection like blips of light that are so far away that don't really look like anything. The one thing from a mind blown standpoint though is that aliens, like, I'll caveat my statement with that you can recognize as being an actual fucking alien.
Yeah.
The thing that's hard to even wrap your mind around with how big the fucking universe is, like it's unquantifiable really how big it is. Yes, there's some metrics from a Big Bang standpoint.
Well, it's also always expanding, so it's always getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Who's talking to you?
Yeah, you
Sorry.
shut your
No,
whole mouth.
I get that, but even with that, right?
Yeah.
Like that's still, we don't know that. Like it's a theory.
Yeah.
It's impossible to say this is how big the universe is, But anyway, my point is that with all of that stuff out there, like mathematically, it's basically impossible for there not to be some other sort of life form. But what does that look like? In pop culture and movies, it's portrayed as little green men with big heads and small limbs and whatever. But the fact is, there could be alien life form in its most textbook form, i.e. it's something from outer space. Technically we're fucking aliens. But there could be some sort of microbial or virus, that's from an alien origin that got here from an asteroid or something like that you can't even see. It's a bacteria or something like that. I think that's far more probable than what I think what's in people's minds as being what an alien is. But the other thing too is, even beyond that, is maybe it's something that's in gas form or it's in some sort of form that is so beyond our comprehension that we don't even recognize it. That's certainly possible too. I'm not saying that isn't. And again, mathematically, just going off of if you look at our solar system and how many other ones that there are out there, galaxies. If you look at how many galaxies there are, like, again, mathematically, it's like there almost has to be some sort of life form. Now, can it get here? What does that look like? That I don't fucking know. But in terms of something that is here, that's recognizable, I don't think there is, or there'd be fucking more quantifiable proof of it. And I feel the same way about ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to argue with me now, because
I fucking believe in ghosts. For one, Halloween's coming, and we wouldn't have the holiday celebrating them if they weren't real. That's just logic. I believe in all kinds of weird shit, like demons and shit, the possession, but I don't know if it's like demons.
yeah,
I don't know if it's just not. This is usually chicks, and we all know bitches are crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if their crazy came out late and they just started acting all demonized. So, but that's a different question. The Big Bang Theory was also proved wrong last week.
proved.
Which I don't know how you proved it to begin with, or is proved wrong.
I think it's easier to disprove things than prove things when it comes to something that seems largely theoretical that way. But what was the?
I can't remember. Honestly, I didn't care enough to look into it, but I remember it being all over the internet, the news, and Big Bang Theory disproven, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, Motherfucker, I just finished watching about Penny, Leonard, and all them, and now that shit's over.
So now I got to research this.
Yeah. Yeah, the Big Bang Theory was disproven.
So Discover Magazine. Could the Big Bang be wrong?
Yeah.
Forbes, is it time to dethrone the Big Bang Theory?
And you know if it's on Google, this shit's real.
Well, I mean,
most
stuff
of the
like Forbes and Discovery are absolutely legitimate, but I mean, it's Stephen Hawking's theory, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it Stephen Hawking?
I think so, yeah.
Now I got to look up that.
I searched it up, and I don't think a lot of it's from like 2019, 2017, and stuff like that. So I don't think it was like.
No, it was recent.
What I will say is that one of the things that perplexes me, I'd say more than anything, and for good reason, is space.
The Final Frontier.
I mean, it's just like there's so much to it that is so hard to wrap your mind around. I mean, you can, and what I love about something like YouTube now, which we didn't have growing up, but like you can spend. I mean, most people spend hours watching really meaningless shit on there, myself included sometimes. But I usually try to have some method to the madness if I'm going to spend time on there, whether it's researching stuff for this show or my show or learning about health and fitness or whatever. But sometimes, like if I'm on long road trips, like I'll just plug my phone in, set it in the gauge cluster, and fucking put it on Bluetooth and watch hour-long specials on fucking world history or.
I've witnessed this dude watching TV while driving.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I mean, it's amazing, but it's just you can get to where like your head hurts almost trying to rationalize something that isn't really that rational, especially I mean something as simple as black holes, which defy a lot of Earth's physics, which there's more that we don't know about them than know about them. But
yeah, I've looked into some chicks' black holes and shit was scary.
That shit was.
Yeah, that shit was wild. It was fucking wild, people. Well, pretty much it
on
for
that
today.
note,
Yeah.
from Alec Baldwin to black holes, I think we've covered quite a bit on this one.
I'm sure somehow we can tie them in together, too. That's it on this one. And what episode is this?
This would be 47.
I just like to ask if you're paying attention. So make sure to check us out on Patreon if you guys want some exclusive stuff to get in there, support us. Bonfire below is where we got a bunch of merch. Not this. You got to go to Mike's website for this. I should really put a link. There is a link in there for that. Ain't there a link in there, Zohan?
For Team Dog?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there better be or your ass is getting rolled up. So check us out there. We're on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, all the tunes, and we're out, bitches. Peace.